Welcome to assignment 2 of INB2102. My name is Kelly Barker and my student ID number is 102790009. This report looks at the effect of globalisation has on my life as a human product. In order to do that, I split my life down as I would the life cycle of a product. So to the introduction phase, the growth phase, the maturity phase and the decline phase, and looked at the influences of globalisation that happened throughout those periods of time and picked the key influences and looked at the way that they changed my life, I guess you could say, or the value of me as a product. The first stage in the introduction period, we're looking at around 0 to 15 years of age. It's a development stage of a product. So throughout that time in my life, from 1973 to about 1988, we had global changes such as jet travel became more accessible due to advances, technological advances, as well as economies of scale. We had financial influences such as mining booms in Western Australia. They found the Northwest Gas Shelf. There was medical influences which affected my life. All of these things helped my life at the time, or myself as a human product. It gave me access to better education, better medical facilities. My family was able to travel to Australia from New Zealand. There's some of the positive influences. Negative influences resulted in the disintegration of the family structure. We left family networks to come to Australia, no family here. So there was that lack of contact, and those influences that would have shaped my life had we not moved. Then we move on to the growth phase. So I've got this from about 15 years to 25 years, and is when I've entered the workforce, become a paying member of society. So I guess my value as a product has grown, my marketability has grown. I have skills that I've learnt through education, formal and informal. I've got social skills. We've got influences during this period of time from the advances in things like personal computers. They've come into the workforce. Towards the end of this period, we've got the internet. We've got things happening like economic developments within the world. We're also having more access to the world through television reports, through journalist reports, those types of issues which I guess we wouldn't normally have heard of or would have been delayed in hearing. We were having more access and more worldly knowledge. Influences through things such as the mining industry. In my working life during this period of time, I was working in the mining industry, again due to booms in the nickel resources industry. Meant that I was exposed to multiculturalism, where I'm working with people from all over the world due to labour shortages. My standard of living was increased because of increasing wages. The negative effects were things such as, due to financial pressures and social pressures, was the disintegration of the family network. These types of things happened. With the introduction of the internet, I was able to have more contact with extended networks in other countries that I hadn't had before. So these changes made a significant difference. New skills had to be learnt. How to use a computer, how to use the internet, those types of issues. That increases my value as a product. We move on to the maturity stage, which I've grouped from about 25 to 65 years, which is traditionally, I guess, your core working life of a product. I guess in a normal product, it would be pretty stock standard with maybe changes, to keep it in the forefront. For the human product, or my life as a human product, the effect of globalisation has meant that I'm continually having to change. I'm continually having to be educated to keep up to date with the changes that are happening. We've got changes in the workforce due to requirements of what's needed. In my case, I've undergone training in training and assessment. I'm now at university. Things such as being able to record this video for the assignment. These things weren't possible 10, 15 years ago. So it's requiring me to have to learn to do that, to keep up to date with the technology that's out there. We've got things such as terrorism now, which has a bigger impact on our life. It determines where we travel, what insurances we buy, those types of things. As a product, I have to keep up to date with all of that, which then increases my value out in the workforce. Means that with this knowledge and with these skills, I'm able to ask for more money, which then has a flow-on effect to the general economy. We're still got 20 years left of this phase, so I would anticipate that that's going to be continually changing. I'm always going to have to update my skills. I'm always going to have to be aware of what's going on in the world. I'm going to have more influence as we go on environmental factors. The choices I make and the things that I do will have an impact on the global environmental, albeit probably small, but it's these changes that we can do which will have an impact and increase the value of our life and ourselves as a product. For the final phase, the decline phase, 65 years plus, chosen 65 because that was traditionally the retirement age. For me, that will be in 2038. Globalisation is going to have a significant impact on whether that is true or not. I would expect that I would still be working. I have opportunities to work from home now. Changes to technology in the future could mean that you can work from anywhere now. So who knows where it's going to be in the future? What is the environment going to be like? We don't know. Travel, we already have the ability to travel a lot easier and a lot further now than we did 15 to 20 years ago. So in another 15 to 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, we might be working on Mars or the moon. So in summation, the effect that globalisation has on my life as a human product is enormous. It affects every part of my life, whether it's the social aspects, the environmental aspects, or the economic aspects. It requires me to keep up to date. It requires me to change. If I want to keep my value as a product in the forefront and to be marketable, I need to keep up to date. Thank you very much.